I am going to tell you about the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, and I'm also going to predict what kind of student I think he would have been if he were in my 7th grade math class. We're wasting time. Hello Hotties, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Ali Mack and I'm currently a 7th grade math teacher. While you're here, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from me. Do it now. So this is the third video in this series about former presidents and what I think they would have been like as a student. I'm really excited about this series where I talk about the good, the bad, and trivia. So I'm ready if you are. So to start off this video, I want to give you some background on Thomas Jefferson. He had 6 sisters and 1 brother. He was the 3rd child, the eldest son. He married his 3rd cousin, Martha. She made him very, very happy. In fact, they said that she would play the piano and he would join in with his violin, which I think is pretty cool. Together, they had 6 children, and Martha died shortly after the last child was born. And she made Thomas Jefferson promise her that he would never remarry. See, growing up, she had a bunch of stepmothers, and I guess that did something to her to be raised by someone that wasn't her mom. So she basically made Thomas Jefferson promise he would never remarry so her children didn't have to go through the same thing. And Thomas Jefferson kept his promise. He never did remarry. Thomas Jefferson served as the president from 1801 to 1809. Aaron Burr, who famously shot Alexander Hamilton, was his vice president. Now at this time, the country, the United States, ended at the Mississippi River. And also, France controlled pretty much everything west of the Mississippi River at this time. Since Thomas Jefferson's wife died before he entered office, he needed a hostess. And since normally this is the duty of the First Lady and he didn't have one, he asked the wife of James Madison, Dolly Madison, to help him with this task. And she became the permanent hostess of the White House. Dolly Madison was also in charge of completing the White House mansion. You know, now that I think about it, it's kind of crazy that our first presidents didn't get to enjoy the luxuries of what the White House was or is today. Another thing that I should mention is that Thomas Jefferson was the principal author in the Declaration of Independence. Also, I want to add that the British had burned down the White House and most of the library in the White House were burned with it. Thomas Jefferson used his own personal library to restock the library that was once at the White House. Now, I hate to get into his death, you know, this is the background, we're just getting started, but he died on July 4th, 1826, the same day as John Adams. So this is the part of the video where I tell you some of the good things that Thomas Jefferson did in his life and in his presidency. Right before he became president of the United States, the debt was $83 million. And by the time he left the presidency, it was at $57 million. 2 terms, and he was able to lower the debt that much. That's pretty darn good. He signed the Military Peace Establishment Act on March 16, 1802. Basically what this did, this was the founding of the United States Military Academy at West Point. In 1803, he made the greatest purchase, what is ever known in, I think, United States history, of the Louisiana Purchase. And he actually hired explorers, Lewis and Clark, to survey the land and see what we had and what we didn't have. Basically, he was looking for them to record the geography of the land. Okay, so this is the part in the video where I tell you the things that are not so good, the bad, if you will. During Thomas Jefferson's lifetime, he owned over 600 slaves. It is said that Thomas Jefferson was a racist. It is also said that Thomas Jefferson fathered 6 children with one of his slaves, Sally Heming. And since she was 14 at the time, when they started their relationship, or I should say, when he started his forced relationship, because I don't want to say that 4-letter word on my channel, but basically it was a forced relationship on Sally Heming, and as a result, she had 6 children by Thomas Jefferson. So at the time when this whole thing started, she was 14 and Thomas Jefferson was 44. Ew. Another thing, Thomas Jefferson was the one who basically invented the smear campaigns. You know, like the last election we had and the one before it with Donald Trump and Biden and Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Thomas Jefferson is the OG of the smear campaigns. I'm not sure, that's not really something to brag about. That's really classless and tasteless and everything like that. But basically, Thomas Jefferson's 1800 race against John Adams for president was a negative campaign. Another not so good thing about Thomas Jefferson, he nearly caused the nation's first depression. This is my favorite part of the video, where I share with you some fun facts about Thomas Jefferson. They say that when he arrived for his inauguration to accept the presidency, he arrived on horseback, without an entourage, dressed plainly, so he really didn't care too much for formal etiquette. Another fun fact, Thomas Jefferson is credited for introducing French fries to the United States. Another fun fact, Thomas Jefferson knew how to speak 4 languages: English, Latin, French, and Italian. He could also read Greek and Spanish. Another fun fact, Thomas Jefferson made ice cream popular in the United States. And last of the fun facts, he actually had a pet mockingbird. I love birds. I just do. Okay, so we've made it to the last part of the video, and this is the part where I tell you what I think Thomas Jefferson would have been like as a 7th grade student in my math class. It is said that Thomas Jefferson himself said that he is a much better writer than he is a speaker. He and I can relate to that. Like, I feel like I'm not really good with talking to people, and I feel like if I have time to think about it, I can write, and I can write beautifully. So he and I have that in common. But because we have that in common, that makes me think that as a student, he would not speak in class unless he was called upon to speak. This would also make me think that he will be that student that does not participate in discussions. He would only talk if he was called upon by the teacher. I feel like Thomas Jefferson would have been the student that would complete his work and would not ask for help even if he needed it. Y'all know who I'm talking. Y'all probably have a student in your mind right now that does this. I feel like Thomas Jefferson would have been invisible to his classmates, but I feel like he also would speak to people if they spoke to him first. He probably would have had 1 or 2 really close friends and just forget about everybody else. You know what I mean? And I also believe that he would not mistreat people. Now, the last thing I think about Thomas Jefferson as a student, he would not have been that quiet student that got picked on because he was different. I think if you were to call on him or mistreat him, he would let you have it, and he would not let you bully him. All right, you guys, that is it for this video. A little short and sweet for one of these. If you found it helpful, informative, or even entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below the violin emoji. And as always, you guys have the best day ever, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.